Hey everybody, this is Kurt with Paramount. I'm here today with Ryan Pieszchala with Quest Pools here in Fulshear, Texas, just west of Houston. As most of you know, Paramount recently acquired Twirlybyrd spa jets, and Ryan, who's been a user of the Twirlybyrd jets and a longtime Paramount dealer, has been instrumental in helping us learn a little bit more about the product. So what I thought I'd do today is let Ryan share with y'all a little bit about what he's experienced with the Twirlybyrd jet, and also some other experiences he's had with other systems out there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan. Thank you for your time today, and go for it.
Thanks, Thank you. Okay, well, hello everybody. I'm going to assume that everybody's been building pools for a while, and so I'll kind of do a little bit of history. Historically, the problem that we've always had with spas is when we're building a gunite spa, it's just difficult to get a great performing jet other than what most people would do is your standard SP1022 and an eyeball. Okay, that's great if it was 1985. We kind of need to come into the 21st century. One of the things that we did in our evolution of trying to find a better jet was we migrated to the Waterway polygunite storm jet, which may be very familiar to some of you. You may be using that product already. In a kit that you can get through distribution, this is pretty much what you get. You get your jet body, the plaster flange, your retainer ring for the water portion, and then it has to be built onto this, which I'll demonstrate later. And then you choose your various nozzle for inside. So this does give a better way of building a spa jet. However, the problem is it's a very cumbersome process. We'll walk through that real quick. So basically, you have your jet, air supply, water supply, and then this is what you have to stub out for the body of the pool to get it through the spa structure. On the end here, you put your pressure cap, which through the gunniting process, you get gunite and garbage all over this portion of the pipe. So then we come to plaster. So now we fast forward to plaster, and we come in, and the crew has to come in and trim this back. So we lose the cap, basically. And then they have to clean all this exterior area with primer, scrape it all off. I mean, get a really good, in order to get a good glue seal around this plaster flange, which they provide, which then goes on here. This area here is acting as a water stop. But you'll notice that there's no plaster cap. So as the plaster applicator is installing everything, inadvertently they do get a bunch of trash inside here. Not a major thing, but you may have to clean some stuff. So now we've got the pool plastered. Now it's time for us to do our startup. Well, what we have to do is we have to build the internal portion of the jet. So we have to put this retainer ring on, glue that onto the 1-inch pipe, and then we have to insert it in here. You'll notice I have this great face because I'm trying to feel what the heck's going on in there. So once we screw that and thread it all the way on, we have to then make a mark, and then we have to remove this shaft and bring it out. Then we have to measure back from our mark the distance of this fitting from here to here, because this portion glues into the pipe, and then we have to subtract that from our mark and make a mark, and then cut the pipe and then glue this onto the end. Then we can reinsert it, but we have to repeat that process times however many jets you have in the spa. Then we're not done yet because we still have this internal, which again, Waterway was thinking a little futuristic because they could put a piece in here that would be interchangeable. So at least that's a pro. Definitely a bigger advancement than this guy. But the issue that we have is as this sits and the plaster comes right to this end, we still have this portion of the jet that protrudes. If we have any plaster that bowls out over, perhaps you've experienced this, you have to trim it back or scrape it back and everything to get that to seat properly. And then when we're done, what's left on there is something that protrudes a little bit that could kind of, if you lean back against a flat wall, it would be poking you in the back, okay? So that's the process of the polygunite storm jet. What we have now is, with the Twirlybyrd, it's very similar to what you would do, a standard jet, water feed, air feed, 1.5 inch pipe. What you would do for all you builders who are still using this type of apparatus, you're going to put the SP1022 on the exterior of the shaft. Again, need to clean it off and that sort of thing. These notches serve as a water stop as well. So that's all fine and dandy. But now all we're changing, so everything stays the same with the Twirlybyrd product. All we're changing is this portion. So now what we have is, rather than having to worry about scraping all this off, the interior of this pipe has gone through gunite and it's already clean. So all we have to do now is just put this fitting in there and it works out great. Multiple ridges for a better water stop. I don't know about those of you who are using the polygunite storm, but in my experience over the last 15 years of using that product, I would have issues where every once in a while I'd have a leak and they would come back and do the leak detection, and invariably it was not enough water seal around that shaft, around that fitting that was the plaster niche. So here we have a better water stop design, and then we have a great plaster cap, so as sloppy as they need to be. If you notice that this actually comes all the way out to the edge, so when you remove that, there's a little reveal there of about this 1/8 of an inch thick of the plastic. So this whole surface stays clean, and then with our tool, we can take the jet internal piece and snap it in. We're done. Not step one of putting the thing in and measuring and cutting and gluing and putting it back in. That's it. It is lob it off, glue it on, plaster the tool, startup guy, puts it on, you're ready to roll. The great thing about this product is it comes with a tool, so in the faceplate, the consumer can easily pull it off and move it around the pool because there are a variety of massaging jets. The great thing that I love about this in the 2 years that I've been using this product is there are no ball bearing shafts. If you hear how this one spins, there's ball bearings in there. As you go through cycles of chemicals falling out, you'll get calcium precipitate and things like that. So these will stop, they will seize up. Whereas this, I've had no issues in using these, that they spin freely. And it's just great because the homeowner can move them where they want. Same kind of thing with this, but they can move them where they want, and I will tell you, I've had no complaints. Great performance. What I'm using on my pools, I do a separate pump, and I do 1.5 horsepower dedicated single speed pump that runs my jets. I can do 6 jets, and I've done that up to a 100-foot run to the equipment with 2.5-inch suction in return. No problem. If you're less than 80 feet, I can do 2-inch suction in return. Works amazing. In fact, I've had people, well, brand X is selling me a 2 horsepower pump and that's going to perform better. And I said, look, if you've got a problem with it, we can upsize the pump, no problem afterwards. We turbocharge in our market. We turbocharge our jets with the blower line. So we put an air blower on there, a 1 horsepower blower. I kind of sell it as another feature to turbocharge them. So they do naturally draft. Once you purge that initial fire up, they will naturally draft depending upon the distance to the equipment. But I think this is a great product. Price point is going to be similar, if not a little bit better. But the ease of installation is great, and the consumer being able to easily move them, and I don't have callback complaints on, hey, they don't spin anymore or things like that. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and if you got any questions, feel free to give me a shout or call this guy.
There you go. Ryan, thank you so much.
No problem.
As you can see, I think just looking at the installation, looking at the finished product, the way it finishes flush, the way it operates, the lack of opportunities for problems that the Twirlybyrd provides, clearly a superior solution.
Yeah.
We really appreciate, Ryan, you giving us the time and sharing this information. And good luck to everybody. I'll be around and talking to everybody. Our other regional managers will be as well. But if you have any questions, just call Paramount at 800-621-5886. And we'll certainly get you in touch with the person you need to help you. All right, everybody have a great day. Thank you very much. See ya.